My parents skipped my college graduation to clap for my cousin at a dinner, then years later called me selfish because I wouldn't pay off the debt he created. I was 26 when the phone call came. My mom's voice was soft in that careful way people speak when they need something, not when they miss you, not when they care, when they need something. She said, "We need you to come home. The family is in trouble." That word, family, hit me harder than it should have. Because when I needed one, I was always reminded that my cousin had it worse. My cousin was the son everyone acted like they had chosen. He was not a bad kid at first. That's what made it confusing. He was loud, charming, and always knew how to make adults laugh. I was quieter. I got good grades, worked part-time, kept my head down, and tried not to ask for much. But somehow, that made me invisible. When I was 12, I won a school writing contest. My parents forgot the ceremony because my cousin had a soccer match. When I was 16, I got my first job and bought my own laptop. My dad said that was good because my cousin needed help with his car repairs. When I got into a college 2 hours away, my mom cried. Not because she was proud, because she said I was abandoning the family. But when my cousin dropped out of his program after one semester, they said he just needed time to figure himself out. That was the pattern. I was expected to be mature. He was allowed to be lost. And for a long time, I swallowed it because I thought being easy to handle would make them notice me. It did not. The first sign that something was really wrong happened during my final year of college. I had been working nights at a small cafe to pay rent. My parents knew I was struggling, but they still called one evening and asked if I could send money home. I thought maybe a bill was overdue. Then my mom said, "Your cousin needs a deposit for a business idea." I laughed because I thought she was joking. She went quiet. My dad took the phone and said, "Don't be difficult. He has potential." That word stayed in my head for years. Potential. I had responsibilities. He had potential. I told them I couldn't help. I barely had enough for groceries that week. My dad said, "You always make things about yourself." That was the first time I ended a call and just sat on my kitchen floor, not crying loudly, not breaking anything, just sitting there with my work shoes still on, feeling like something inside me had gone numb. And what hurt the most was that I still wondered if I had been selfish. A few months later, graduation came. I sent my parents the date weeks ahead. My mom said they would be there. My dad said he had already requested the day off. I bought 2 extra tickets. I ironed my shirt the night before and kept checking my phone that morning. No message, no call. During the ceremony, I kept looking toward the doors. Every time someone walked in late, my chest tightened. They never came. Afterward, I stood outside with classmates taking pictures with their families. One friend asked where my parents were, and I said they got stuck with something. I said it casually, like it did not matter. Then I opened social media. My cousin had posted pictures from an award dinner at a local business group. He was wearing a suit. My parents were standing beside him. My mom had written, "So proud of our future businessman." I stared at that post until the screen blurred. That was the moment I stopped expecting them to choose me. But I did not cut them off right away. I just slowly stopped offering pieces of myself. I moved to another city after graduation. I got a steady job in operations for a logistics company. It was not glamorous, but it was stable. I rented a small apartment. I learned how to fix things on my own. I made friends who remembered my birthday without being reminded. My parents called less. When they did call, most of the conversation was about my cousin. His business was growing. His business needed a little help. His business had a setback. His business was about to turn around. Every sentence sounded like they were trying to convince themselves. Then, one winter, my mom called and asked if I could visit for my dad's birthday. I had not been home in almost a year. Part of me did not want to go, but another part of me still wanted one normal dinner. One evening where nobody compared me to him. One moment where they asked about my life and stayed interested. So I went. And that dinner was the first time I noticed fear behind their smiles. The house looked the same from outside, but inside, small things were missing. The wall clock from the hallway was gone. My mom's gold-framed mirror was gone. The old cabinet with family photo albums had been replaced by a cheap shelf. When I asked about it, my mom said she was decluttering. Then my cousin walked in late, wearing expensive shoes and acting like nothing was wrong. He hugged my dad with one arm, kissed my mom on the cheek, and barely looked at me. During dinner, he talked about expansion, investors, contracts, and how people with small minds never understand risk. My dad nodded at every word. My mom kept serving him more food. And then I saw it. A stack of envelopes on the side table, half hidden under a magazine. One had a red stamp. Another had my parents' mortgage company name on it. I did not say anything, but the room suddenly felt smaller. Later that night, while my cousin was outside taking a call, I heard my parents whispering in the kitchen. My mom said, "We can't keep waiting." My dad said, "He said the payment is coming." My mom asked, "And if it doesn't?" Then the kitchen went silent. I stood in the hallway, holding a glass of water, feeling like I had walked into the middle of a story everyone had been hiding from me. The next morning, I found my old room packed with storage boxes. Not my things. His. Business files. Product samples. Broken office chairs. Boxes with shipping labels. My childhood room had become his overflow closet. That should not have hurt as much as it did. But it did, because even the space I left behind had been given to him. I left that afternoon with a strange feeling in my stomach. A month passed. Then came the call. My mom said the family was in trouble. I asked what happened. She said my cousin's business had taken a bad turn. He had borrowed money. A lot of money. Some from lenders, some from relatives, some using my parents as guarantors. My dad came on the phone and said the house could be at risk. I asked how much. He avoided the question. That told me enough. Then my mom said, "You have savings now, don't you?" I felt my grip tighten around the phone. There it was. Not, "We're sorry we shut you out." Not, "We made a mistake." Not, "We should have listened." Just, "You have savings now." I asked them if my cousin was there. My dad said he was stressed and needed support, not pressure. I asked if he was being asked to sell his car, his watches, his equipment, anything. My mom said that would crush him. I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, because I had spent years being crushed in small ways and they had never even noticed. I told them I would come over and talk in person. When I arrived, the whole family was there. Aunts, uncles, my cousin, my parents. It was not a conversation. It was a setup. They had planned it like an intervention, except I was not the one who had done anything wrong. My aunt started by saying, "Family helps family." My uncle said money comes back, but relationships don't. My cousin sat on the couch with his head down, playing the wounded one. My mother looked tired. My father looked angry before I even spoke. Then they laid it out. They wanted me to pay a large chunk immediately to stop the lenders from taking action. After that, they wanted me to co-sign a restructuring loan. I asked why they thought I could do that. My dad said, "You don't have kids. You don't have a house. You live simply. You can recover." That sentence broke something final in me. You can recover. That was how they saw me. Not as their child, as the backup plan that could take damage. I asked my cousin to explain exactly where the money went. He mumbled about delays and bad partners. I asked for records. He said I was humiliating him. I asked again. That was when my aunt snapped and said, "This is why your parents leaned on him more. He has a softer heart." The room went quiet. And there it was. The thing everyone had acted like I was not supposed to notice. They had not chosen him because he needed more. They had chosen him because he made them feel important. He praised them, needed them, performed helplessness in a way that made them feel like heroes. I did not. I worked, I managed, I survived. So they treated my strength like permission to neglect me. Then my cousin made one mistake. He said, "You've always been jealous because they cared about me more." No one corrected him. Not my mother, not my father, no one. I looked at my parents and waited. My dad stared at the floor. My mom started crying, but she still did not say I was wrong. That silence answered every question I had carried since childhood. I stood up and said I would not pay the debt. My father's face changed fast. He called me cold. My mother said they could lose everything. My cousin said I was enjoying this. I told them I was not enjoying any of it. I was grieving the family I kept trying to earn my place in. Then I said something I had wanted to say for years. You chose who mattered when there was nothing to gain. Now you don't get to call me family only because there is a bill. Nobody spoke after that. I left with my hands shaking so badly I could barely unlock my car. For the next 2 weeks, my phone did not stop. Messages from relatives, some angry, some guilt-filled, some acting polite while clearly asking how much I could contribute. I answered only one message. It was from my mother. She wrote, "We raised you better than this." I replied, "You raised me to survive without you. I learned well." After that, I blocked most of them. Not out of revenge, out of exhaustion. The consequences came slowly. My cousin's business collapsed. The expensive car disappeared first, then the office space. Then his online posts stopped. My parents had to sell the house before the bank forced their hand. They moved into a smaller place outside town. For months, I heard updates through one cousin I still spoke with. My dad blamed me at first. My mom told people I had abandoned them. But as more details came out, the story changed. Relatives learned that my cousin had lied about investors. He had used borrowed money to keep up appearances. He had taken funds from my parents more than once. And the worst part was that my parents had hidden all of it because admitting it meant admitting they had been wrong about him. One evening, almost a year later, my mom called from a new number. I almost did not answer, but I did. She sounded smaller. She did not ask for money. She did not defend him. She just said, "I found your graduation tickets in an old drawer." I said nothing. She said, "I remember where we were that day." I closed my eyes. For years, I had imagined that moment. I thought hearing regret would make me feel better. It did not. It only made me tired. She said she was sorry for missing it. I thanked her for saying that. Then she asked if we could start over. I looked around my apartment. The one I paid for. The one nobody helped me build. The quiet, safe life I had made from all the years they thought I needed nothing. And I finally understood something. Starting over did not mean pretending nothing happened. It meant deciding what access people had to me now. I told her I was open to slow contact, but I would never be the emergency fund, the backup child, or the person expected to fix choices I was excluded from. She cried. I did not. Not because I felt nothing, because I had already cried for that family in pieces, over many years. Now I visit them sometimes. Not often. My cousin does not come around when I do. My father is polite, but distant. My mother tries harder, in awkward little ways. She asks about my work now. She remembers small things. Sometimes it feels sincere. Sometimes it feels too late. Maybe both can be possible. I did not save the family the way they wanted. I saved the part of myself that kept waiting to be chosen. And that was the only rescue I owed anyone.